Hello and welcome. So why do we get so frustrated? Well, today I'm going to debunk what frustration is and give you 3 steps to move through frustration and maybe prevent it from happening in the future. Hello, I'm Carol DeShane, your intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters and certified Marconics energy recalibration practitioner. So I think first we can all agree that frustration does not happen when things are going well. It only happens when there's a problem. And what is it? Well, Google says, let me read this for you. It says that it's the feeling of being upset or annoyed, especially because of an inability to change or achieve something. Well, for me, all right, but what it really means for me when I look at my frustration is that when I expect somebody to do something, whether it's me, someone else, or for a situation to go a specific way, if it doesn't happen, I get frustrated. So it's a little bit of annoyance, a little bit of anger, a little bit of I could have done it better, or maybe I should have done it better if it's about me. And so whenever my expectations aren't achieved, they aren't come up to, that's when I get frustrated. So a little hint is if you say, I should have done this, or they should have done that it should not have happened that way. If you get that in your vocabulary and you agree with it, that is because you're on the edge of frustration or maybe all the way into it. So how do you handle frustration? A lot of people do it by distracting themselves. So rather than get angry and really take it out on the person that they're with, or in a situation by having maybe road rage or something, they actually go ahead and they run around the block. They do something physical, punch a wall, punch a punching bag, better for your fist probably. But rather than taking it out on the person, they find some way to distract themselves. And that works really well. Unfortunately, it only works really well that moment that you're doing it. So the next time the same situation comes up or something similar and you get frustrated, it's going to happen again because you didn't release what the problem was. You only released that emotion at that moment. So today, I'm going to help you with some valuable distractions to help you not only distract from what's happening right at this moment if you're frustrated, but work through what some of the underlying issues are in just sort of a quick way so that maybe you can have it move through faster or perhaps even not handle those things anymore at all. You don't have to because they won't be there. So step 1, it's pretty simple. You can do it as kind of a distraction while you're being frustrated. First, what is it you're frustrated with? Are you frustrated with a person, with a situation? If it's a situation, what situation is it? Is it traffic? Is it waiting on hold for customer service people? Those are my 2 least favorite ones that I tend to have as frustration times. Or is it something else? It's where you don't really blame a person. It's just that it's a situation you're in and it's still frustrating. So that would be a situation. So figure out what it is. If it's specifically a situation, and then look at how often that happens. And if it's something that is a pattern that happens all the time. And the opposite, if it's a person, it's the same thing though. Is it yourself that you're frustrated with because you didn't achieve what you wanted to? Or is it someone else that you kind of say, oh, I'm frustrated with my spouse or my boss or my children or someone. If you look at that, when are you frustrated with these people? Is it an individual that you're always frustrated with? Look for that pattern because that'll help you in the next couple of steps I'm going to give you. So situation or person, and drill down to how often it's just those people, because usually there's definitely a pattern going on. Now, step 2 is super simple. What triggered you? What shifted you into that frustration and clicked it right into you? It was like, oh, again, which is what usually happens with people. So just look at that trigger and see what it is. Recognize it for, oh, well, this person did that, or they said this. And then look and see how often that's the trigger for you. Because you may find that even if it's not the same person or the same things they say, it's still the same trigger. It's still the same idea. So first you have person or situation, and drill it down to how often it's the same person, the same kind of situation. And you may also find it's the same type rather than the same person. So like an authority figure. So that's step one. Step two is what actually triggered you? What incident? And then again, drill down to see how often that happens for you. And this all leads to step three. And step three is not one of the distractions you can do while you're being frustrated. You need to kind of look at it at a later time so that you feel more secure in yourself and you don't feel vulnerable towards that person that you're being frustrated with in case you react kind of strange. So step three is where you put all of it together. And you're going to look at your feelings. And yeah, feelings, but listen, you can't blame other people. I mean, you can, but it doesn't get you anywhere. It's not really about them. And you're like most of us, you've tried to fix people throughout your life. You've gone through it to fix them and change them, and maybe not even consciously. But if they don't meet your expectations, you want them to meet it, right? So you've tried doing that part. It doesn't work for very long or very often unless the person really is willing to do that depending on how you approach them. So what we're just going to look at is ourselves in step three. And what it's going to say is, besides the frustration you feel, what other emotions are underneath that triggered the frustration? So what is it? Go deeper than the frustration. And I'm going to give you an example, which it can be a million different things. But so for example, say your significant other you've been with for a while doesn't remember your birthday, ever. They might say happy birthday, they might not. They might go, oh yeah, it was your birthday. Maybe they don't do anniversaries. And you might know they don't do it on purpose. They never celebrated when they were a kid. But it doesn't matter because it still feels uncomfortable to you and it frustrates you. Because maybe to your family, it was huge. You always celebrated birthdays. You made a big thing out of it. Or Christmas or whatever. So I want you to dig down. I want you to look at what they did or said that created it. It's like in this example, they didn't even say hello. I mean, not hello. Well, happy birthday. And how did that make you feel? Look at that. It made you feel unloved, unappreciated. I mean, how could they not remember you? How could they not celebrate you if they care about you? Maybe you think they must not love me anymore. And part of you is thinking, I've never done it. Why would I think that way now? And yet it hurts enough that if you dig down far enough, you might come to the point of when people don't do that, when they don't see me, I feel unloved. I feel undervalued. I feel like I'm not good enough for that person. And that might be, ding, 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 your core issue. And if you get to that core issue, you go, oh God, yeah, that's it. And I know it may not even be fair to that other person, but it doesn't matter because it's only about you at this moment. How do you feel? Don't try and justify yourself to someone else when you're only with you. Just live with it and see what it feels like. So here you are. Sometimes you get to a point where it's not a core issue, but you think, that's far enough. But it's not. Live with it a little longer. See what else comes up. Dig a little deeper for yourself. It's a gift because all of a sudden you have something you may or may not know that you need to work on. So here you are. You found your core issue. So now what? Well, you can, at this point, you'll be aware that perhaps this person and this type of thing sets you off. So just being aware is a step that will help you start healing. And another thing is you'll start catching yourself. When you go, oh, it's that thing again. I recognize that. I'm okay. I don't need to be frustrated about that because I'm changing my expectations around this person. Or maybe you'll find you want to talk to a life coach or to a therapist or someone about the issue that you uncovered. And sometimes we feel safe enough to speak to the person, if they're going to stay in our life for a while, about the issue because it matters so much to us. So if you feel comfortable and it feels like the right thing to do, I'll give you an example of how to talk to someone about this issue that I brought up about a significant other not saying happy birthday, or really noticing you on your special day or on your anniversary or something. So, for example, I would go up to the person and say, I realize that your family never celebrates birthdays or really does anything about celebrations that way, but my family really did. And when you don't notice me or say happy birthday, and you don't take the time to maybe do a notification on your phone to remind yourself that it's my birthday, it makes me feel really unloved. I feel like I don't matter to you, like I'm not important. And it would make me so happy if you would take that moment and maybe set the alarm or the notification on your phone to remind you if it's my birthday or our anniversary, because that would really make me feel like you cared. And to really make me happy, you might even take me out somewhere for dinner to celebrate. Have the waiters sing happy birthday to me or something, and have a card. That's all I need. If you want to do a gift, that's great, but that much would be wonderful for me. Now, you might really be better if he or she would plan a huge surprise party for you or take you, unbeknownst to you, on some great trip. But you have to realize that some people are just not going to do that. So find something you can live with. Find something that would make you happy, that they wouldn't go, oh, I'm never going to do that. But they can remember certain things. They can act a certain way if they love you and they feel it would make you happy, and it would be so much easier. Because I have to tell you, when you give someone the answer on how to make you happy, they like it much more. I mean, unless they're, someone who doesn't really care and doesn't want to make the effort. It's a two-way street. So on any kind of relationship, maybe not a boss relationship, but with your kids, your mother, there are people you can talk to that you feel comfortable with. And with those, if it'll shift that frustration that hurts you deep inside, you might find that that's all you need is some simple conversation with them. So that's one option that you have to help shift the frustration, because then it won't happen. But literally, the next time that you have a frustration, take those distractions that are helpful for you and a learning tool. Take a step back while you're being frustrated and say, is this a person or a situation? Is it me or someone else? Who is this person that's frustrating me? What set me off? And then look at those and say, does this always set me off? And if the answer is yes, then you know what you need to work on. You know where you can go deeper when you're away from what's making you frustrated. And you can take the step 3 to just forget about the other person at the moment and what they're doing or where they're from, and look about how it's affecting you. What is underneath that feeling of frustration that set you off in the first place? Because usually it's fear or anger or hurt. It's something that sets us off. And then we feel the frustration. So I hope that this helps you today. I hope you'll be able to go ahead and ultimately find that no one can frustrate you unless you allow them to, and you give them that power. So the next time you do it, you might give that a thought as well. Take your power back. Allow yourself to find how you can heal. And sometimes it's a simple thing. Sometimes it takes a little more work. So thank you for joining me. If you like what I say, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll know when I put up my next video. I'm Carol Deshane, and you can see more about me on not only my YouTube channel, but also at connecttojoy.com, my website. It will be in the box underneath this video. And there you'll find a free download of 5 steps to effortless quantum leaps, your business and your life, as well as under my services tab, energy and space clearings for your home or your business, and Marconics multidimensional energy healings and ascension modality for recalibration. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, bye-bye.